What's up, everybody? Sven Diesel here. We're going to be tying up the JJ Special Jim Jones pattern, mainly targeting some trout. Super effective pattern, quick tie, similar to other patterns like the Autumn Splendor. Typically fish this in a size 4 to 8, sometimes as small as a 10, but usually I like to keep it a little bit bigger. And this is got a brass cone on there, and we're going to be using some lead wire to wrap that down and also hold this cone in place. Makes it super easy for tying the fly later. And so we'll do about 10 to 12 wraps of this 0.025 lead wire. And you could also maybe bypass this by using a tungsten cone. However, I can't seem to find the tungsten cone in gold. So if anybody has a source, please comment below so that we can all pick those up together. And so I take those lead wraps and shove them up into the cone. We're going to be using some Semperfli wax thread in a 6/0. And I left the tag end right there on the fly for various reason, and that is I start the thread right behind, I cross right over, and this just helps me get a really clean takeoff of the lead. Usually the 0.025 is a little bit thicker. 0.015 you can just snap it right off. Let's see how it does with the point. You can see it just didn't go as clean, but I'll just fold it down and trim out my tag end and then wrap over it. And the key to that little step right there is we want to have the marabou butt into that. So basically we've just created an even underbody. And so I'll proceed with my thread all the way back to the beginning of the bend. And for this we're going to be using some Whiting Farms. This is the Superbou, and it's really awesome. This is yellow and brown. It's kind of more of a rusty brown, but it is definitely brown. And with this Superbou, I love the fibers because as you get up here into this fluff, it's almost like the perfect material for buggers and leech tails. You can see how wispy that is. I don't even need to trim out the tip. And since this is a size 4, we're going to make it a little bit of a more full tail, so I'll take off 2 feathers. That's about the only downside to the Superbou is it's not as full as a larger marabou feather. However, like I said, it's perfect for buggers and leeches, and so we'll do about 3 wraps. I'll trim that out, and you can see right there we started to even out the underbody with those lead wraps. I'll take the second feather and just align it with the tips we did before, and I'll go ahead and tie that in with some nice securing wraps, and then I'll work my way back into the bend, really trying to keep those yellow fibers on the top of the shank. And to do that, I'll do a little bit of a trick, a little over-under. So I'll go underneath it, over, underneath it, and over. And then I'll just clean that up just a little bit so I can see how, you can see that's almost a perfect underbody right there. And we are ready for the brown to stack on top. Always go lighter on your tails on the bottom, a little darker on top. We're trying to mimic, the minnow or bait fish we're trying to imitate here. This might be a little bit more of an attractor pattern, but definitely has its pros and cons. So we're going to wrap the top marabou all the way up to the cone, so you can see we just created a uniform underbody, and so we're ready for the next step of tying in our body materials. But before we do that, I like to add a little bit of crystal flash. This is the copper color, and what I'll do is I'll proceed back to the bend. I'll tie this on right here on the side, so it's kind of dividing the brown and the yellow, and I'll do about 3 wraps forward, wrap this crystal flash up and over, kind of I call it the flying V, and then I'll bring them both down each side, and I'll wrap back so that copper flash is dividing the 2 colors, and then I'll just clean up that body real nice and smooth. And there we go. We are ready for the body material. We just got to trim that crystal flash even with the longest fibers of the tail, and bam, that looks pretty nice. Now for the body, we're going to tie in a few materials. This is a variegated chenille. I can't remember where I bought it, but it's got little hints of flash in it, and it seems to work and trick the trout. And so I'll just prep that by pulling off the material to expose the cord so that we're not going to have a little hump back here, and I'll do about 4 wraps to secure that in place. And then I'll take that and put it out of my way on my side, and we're going to tie in some hackle and some wire and then some legs. So make sure you're ready. We're going to be using the Whiting Farms Grizzly bugger pack for the hackle on this feather, or this bug. I really love this stuff for all my buggers. It seems to have a really good profile or a taper to it as you tie it in from the tip. I do that a little bit differently than most guys. Most people tie it in at the end of the fly and then wrap it backwards and secure it with the wire. I like to just tie it in here by the tip, and I'll just trim that out. Since it's a larger bug, I don't really need these smaller fibers here at the tip of the feather, and then we'll just keep this here to the side. And then I'm going to take this wire. This is some Semperfli 0.2 millimeter wire in gold, and I'm going to tie this in all the way up to the cone and work my way down. And right here towards the back, I'll kind of just make sure that it's on the top of the shank, and the hackle's kind of to my side, and then I'll just really secure that down. And the last thing we're going to tie in, you can do this differently. You can start wrapping your chenille up and then tie in the legs. I'm just going to tie them in at this point. And so what we're going to do is these are just some rubber legs here. And what we'll do is we'll take a bodkin, and I want to just pick apart 2 legs but keep them together. And there I got 3, so I'm going to really try to get just the 2. I'll pull them apart, keeping them together. That makes it a little bit easier for this fly. And then I'll just trim them to be about 2 to 3 inches in length, and that is our tie-in for our legs, and it really helps to keep them together. And what we'll do is we'll tie it in here on the top of the shank of the hook, and then what I'll do is I'll just kind of pull them backwards. You can fold it over, you can trap it with your thread, but all I do is just jump the thread back up and over so that those legs are going down each side of the body. And that's about all it takes. They're going to be pointing backwards at this point. You can adjust that with your chenille as you wrap it, and we'll do the same with these forward legs. I'm just dividing the shank of the hook into 3 equal parts, and so you can see the distance in between those 2 is about the same from the distance of the legs to the cone, tip of the cone, and then we've got the same from the rear, and even just as for proportionate, so you can always make sure each fly is the same. And also I think the fish really care if it's off by a 1/16 of an inch. I'm just joking, I don't think they care. So end with your thread up there towards the front, and so we're going to go ahead and grab this chenille now, and these legs are kind of going to be in our way at this point. We want to make sure we don't pull that marabou around as we come up and over. The first wrap's going to be the most difficult, and then as we get up here, you can see that we'll get about 3 wraps behind these legs, and I'm just working my way up. And now, since those legs are still a little bit back, I'm going to force that extra wrap back behind there, and then see how that pushed the legs forward. And now if I take another wrap and push it right up against that leg as I pull it back, it's going to position it straight out. And you can spend all the time in the world adjusting these legs, getting them perfectly perpendicular to the hook shank. I don't think it really matters, but the key is that they're just going to be out there creating water movement, a little bit of wiggle jiggle, and something that could be attractive. And I don't know, I think this pattern just works. I also tie this up in an olive color that I got a lake here locally that literally without these yellow legs it catches 0 fish. And so I don't know what it is about them, but at this one particular lake in olive, that's all I fish is with yellow legs, and it's similar in a variegated olive body and olive tail, of course, but still grizzly hackle. And so we'll go ahead and grab this hackle now, and I want to get about 2 or 3 wraps right here in this rear section, create a really nice wrap right there at the back, and then as we proceed forward, just jump on the underneath side up and around those legs. And I'm not twisting my hackle. I'm making sure that this is kind of a more flat feather, but each feather still has a little bit of concave to it. And so I'll come up and under, and I'm keeping it in on its back side, trying not to twist it. And then here as I get to the head, I'm going to do at least 2 to 3 wraps to create a nice head. A little trick for most of my buggers, and if you can get it in that cone, all the better. We'll go ahead and trap it up here. We want to make sure you don't get into the webbiness of that feather. And then we'll just do some behind and in front wraps, trap it, snip out our stem, and then I'll do a couple more wraps here just to trap that little butt end that you can see right there. And then we'll take the wire and I'll counter wrap it from the hackle. I guess I do the hackle wraps the same as the chenille, but as I come around with this wire, I just want to make sure I'm minimizing the amount of hackle fibers I trap, and also that I'm not trapping down those legs. And then as you're using your rotary, make sure you can either do a half hitch, or I just let the thread kind of twist up on it, and then at the end I clean it up by unwrapping it. And then we'll go ahead and get our wire up here. I'll suction it right there underneath the cone. Go ahead and do some wraps behind and in front to get that nice and secure and tied off, and then we will use some wire snips if I can find them. The flush cutters really make this a lot easier, and so I'll just take that flush cutter, trim it really kind of flush against that cone, and then use my fingernail to push that butt end up into that brass cone. And then we'll go ahead and do a 3-turn whip finish. You could put a little head cement on it this time, but I haven't had any of these fall apart with this wax thread and a single whip finish. The wire helps keep it a little durable, and so I'll just go ahead and unpick some of these hackle fibers that I trapped right here for this nice collar. Kind of using my bodkin if you want. Usually I brush these, but I found that by trapping those at the head, you got to use kind of a bodkin. And then we'll go ahead and trim our thread, and that right there is not done. The last step is we got to take our bodkin that's nice and handy. We got to trim these legs, and then we got to use our bodkin to separate it. So I'm just going to trim them longer than I need to at this point. That way we can always shorten them up later, but roughly the length of the shank of the hook is a good measurement that I use, and then I just take my bodkin and separate it. And so by tying in one set of legs, we created 2 just by leaving them suction together. And the one on this side's perfect. The other side, I might have done an extra chenille wrap that I shouldn't have done, but I don't think the fish will care. But yeah, then the last step is we're just going to go ahead and brush this out, kind of get all those hackle fibers we trapped, and that's pretty much the only reason I'm brushing it out. We're not really getting extra fluffiness from the chenille by brushing it. So that there is Jim Jones special, the JJ special. I've also tied it and articulated. I haven't tested it yet, but this is a classic pattern that you should have in your box. Like I said, I tie it up in an olive variation, and I've had really, really good luck with it at a particular lake. Those yellow lakes seem to make all the difference in the world. So tie some up, add them to your box in a few different sizes. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and that you pierce some lips.